Hey everybody, I am running just a tad late because I was trying to get my stuff together. Anyway, hope you're doing all right. Hi, I am, uh, hope you enjoyed your weekend. I'm Brenda Sellers, a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Tonight we're going to do things just a little bit different. It's going to be a card class. So I'm going to show you how to do 3 cards. And if you place a $35 order, then I will send you enough material to make 6 cards, so 2 of each. So there's our fun thing for tonight. Also, hi, can't see who joined, but hi, hope you're doing all right. Was talking about how I'm going to start doing our Facebook Lives. I'm going to show you how to do 3 projects. Tonight it's 3 cards with a brand new kit. I'll talk about it first and then I'll show you on the desk the flyer. It is going to be 3 projects. There will be a host code to use. So if you place a $35 order during the month I will send you the material to make 2 each of the 3 cards tonight. So it is a beautiful stamp set. It's a suite. Right now it's got some designer series paper and 2 stamp sets, some dies, some gilded gems. I think that's what they're called. Anyway, so it's going to be fun. And then if you place a $50 order, I'll throw in an embellishment of some sort, just like I always do for all of my people who order $50 or more every month. So that's not going to change. The only thing that's going to change is if you place a $50 order during the time frame between now and I need to look and see what date. I will a 35 get you the material to make these 3 cards. Of course, that does not include the stamp set or the dies or the gems, but it will include all the cardstock and the designer series paper. And if I use a die or of embossing folder that is not included in the suite, I will go ahead and die cut that and emboss it and include it in your kit. So just like a regular card class that I host in person, except this will be in the mail, and I will include the directions on how to do it. I'll have these cut, but you'll also get a PDF with all of the instructions so that if you wanted to make it again yourself, you sure could. Or you could make it with any paper products that you already have on hand. So don't feel like you have to use this, but there it is. All right, so let me turn the camera down and I'll show you the suite and then we'll start crafting. All right, hold on. Here's where I tell you if you get dizzy, look away. All right, there is the desk. If you were one of the recipients of Happy Mail today, this was in your card. The Happy Mail went out, so I don't know exactly when it'll get there because, you know, tomorrow's election day and then Friday is Veterans Day. So every Monday night is a Facebook Live. It'll be a card class. This Saturday is On Stage in Indianapolis, which is a demonstrator event hosted by Stampin' Up. Next Monday, I am going to be out of town. The kiddies are going to be taking care of their daddy at home, but I will have a recorded class. So you're not going to miss it. I may just watch with you. And then Thursday, the 17th, this is a new date for my team. We usually have our team meetings on a Tuesday night, but because I'm out of town next week, it's going to be on Thursday because I'll be back. And then Saturday is Kits and Sips, the 19th at Panera Bread on North Peters. If you're local, come join us. Bring whatever kit you're working on. Again, Monday night, that's the Monday before Thanksgiving. And then the Monday after Thanksgiving, another class. Tuesday night is Kits and Sips via Zoom. And then our card class in person for this month is actually going to be on December the 3rd because we just could not squeeze it in with Thanksgiving and being out of town. So we're just moving it. We're bumping it to the first weekend in December. So there, it's all on there, and this is posted on my Facebook page. It's pinned at the top. So if you need to refer to it, you should be able to click on it and print it. So, and feel free to follow me on YouTube. All of my Facebook videos are also loaded on my YouTube channel. So I always put like the card projects as the front page. So it's like, oh, I want to see how she did that. That's the video it's in. And feel free to pass up all of the chitter chatter and get right to the crafting. So it won't hurt my feelings a bit. And if you like the videos, feel free to share my Facebook page and my YouTube channel with your family and friends. Started calling them family. All right, here is the Fitting Florets suite that we are going to play with tonight. The whole collection is $97.50 for a limited time, and I'll tell you why it's a limited time. It is because the designer series paper, which I have over here, is beautiful. I've already started cutting on this one. Front and back of this, we're going to use this piece tonight. Here is another, I love this color too. These are always on the cardboard piece that comes in it. It tells us what colors are coordinate. So Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry is the yellowish color. There we go. Evening Evergreen is a really deep green. We're going to play with that cardstock tonight. Night of Navy, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. Those are the coordinating colors. And I'm going to do a one-up. If you order the whole suite for $97.50, I'm going to send you 7 card bases that coordinate with this set. So there's that. Woohoo! Don't forget to use the host code, except if your order is $150. Don't use the host code. So here's this pretty paper. That's got the polished pink and the balmy blue, Night of Navy. These, some of the dies actually will cut out these flowers on this piece. Here's front and back of that piece of designer series paper. This one, you can color those little berries with your blender pens, and it makes it look so cool. Like I did the pumpkins on the other one. That's Blushing Bride on the back. I'll hold it still so you can see that pattern. So one side is kind of Christmassy and the other side is everyday. We are using this piece tonight, and the back of it is Soft Succulent. And then here's, like I like to call that the miniature version of the one that was larger. And then there's the back pattern. And I showed you this one. Is there one more? There is. Oh, it was I already showed you the piece of that because it's the gingham on the back. Whoops. You cannot go in the trash. You are useful. All right, so let's lay this out of the way. That's the designer series paper. There are 12 sheets, 2 of each, 6 double-sided. So that is while supplies last. This framed and festive sentiments are more Christmassy. I mean, from our house to yours, that could be used as a great housewarming gift sentiment. So it's not all Christmas. I mean, you can That one you could rearrange. And these lovely gilded gems. I think that's the name. Nope, gold adhesive back swirls. Get it right, Brenda. Pull it out of this plastic. See the little swirls in there? Can you see the details? And I saw another demonstrator friend color that with the blends. Just like we color our basic rhinestones, she was coloring that, and it just gave it an extra little pop of color and pretty. So there's the gems. The gems, this die stamp set, and the designer series paper is while supplies last. The dies, this is not all of them because I've got some of them out. Is the bundle. This framed florets and the dies is the bundle, and the bundle is $54. So I love the scripty font in here, and the dies will cut out these flowers. Just a great set. Put that on that one because we're not using that one tonight. Okay, now let's get crafty. Lay some of this stuff out of the way. And remember, if you spend $35, I'm going to send you this class in the mail. If you spend $50 or whatever, I'll still send you the class, but you need to let me know that you want it, or I'll communicate with you. Hi, Cheryl. So this is a new suite. So, okay, lay you out of the way, and let's get crafty. All right, let's start with this one. I've got most of the stuff cut. So we are going to use polished pink. I've already got it cut 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So there's our card base. And then I told you we were using this piece. And here's our white piece that we're going to stamp on. But first, let's mount a stamp. I was like, what is that thing called? All right, how I do it, I'm going to use the one that says, have yourself a merry little Christmas. So I need to find it on here. It's this one. Pull it off. I put that piece on my block, and then I peel the paper off of that. This is a different way that I have learned how to do this, and I absolutely love it. It makes it so much easier for me because I feel like I get my pieces right where they need to be. And just so that I have a darker outline, I'm laying it on there. I usually lay it on my foam adhesive mat. But you can see the label as I move it across the stamp. And then just put it right on there. And that has helped me line it up so much easier to make sure that I get that all the way around where it needs to be. All right, so for this piece, this color is going to be black. And we're also going to use that stamp. It will be stamped in black. And because this is foam, or the red rubber, it doesn't have to have any extra cushion under it. So I'm going to stamp that closer to the bottom of our 3x4 basic white. And then I'm going to lay that to the side. This one I do need to find where I laid my foam sheet. Here we go. Or paper piercing mat actually is what it's called. And then I'm going to ink up this because it's a photopolymer stamp. That's the one that comes in the suite. And if you're afraid that you won't get it as dark, hi Pat, as you want it, you can always put this stamp on your Stamparatus. That way you can ink it up a couple of times and get it right back in the same place. But I'm going to do it right here, and it should be good. Perfect. So now I'm going to set those out of the way for a few minutes. And I'm going to pull in my polished pink stamp pad. Lay that out of the way. And my evening evergreen. And I'm going to start with evening evergreen and color the leaves. But this is a new little thing. I haven't done it. I saw it, the results of it on a Facebook group. So let's just see how it works. So this is Winkastella. When you get it, it will have a little black band right there. So you'll need to unscrew it and then, but never ever squeeze your barrel enough to where it globs out on your paper. You want to do it on your grid paper off to the side. So I'm going to grab some ink off of the ink pad right there on the side. And then I'm going to color my leaves. And they'll be green and sparkly. Let me get a little bit more. And I did it right there on the side of the, like on the very corner of the ink pad, so that I don't have glitter on a project I don't want to have glitter on later. You can make it as light or as dark as you want it. Get a little bit more and come down the center of that leaf. And that, I feel like, gives it just a little pop of color and sparkles. I saw this on another card from Celine Kempton, and I had to do it. Like, I just saw it, I think last night. Like, okay, I know what we're playing with tomorrow night for our Facebook group meeting. Grab some more green. Start at the base of the flower, or leaf. I'm sorry, it's not a flower, that's a leaf. A little bit more. And you would do this on your extra paper just like you do your blending brushes and your blender pen, to get it all cleaned off so that you don't have, when you're changing colors. So I know that a lot of times we don't feel like we get enough stamping, and sometimes I'm using an extra piece of scrap over here. So that's why I decided to start doing these as class projects. So if you feel like you want it, just let me know. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing with the polished pink, and we're going to have some polished pink flowers. Try not to get any right there in the middle, because I'm going to grab a yellow. And I don't know, can you guys see the sparkles in there? To me, it feels like it colors kind of like our blender pens do. Good. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. So this one does take a little bit more time, but I think the results are well worth it. Grab some more ink. And this is a great way to put glitter on any project without the glitter mess. Okay. Let me clean that off. All right, now let me close up these two ink pads so we don't wind up with our hand in them. And let's use Pale Papaya as our center color. It's a little more orangey than I wanted, but it worked. It was close. And again, just clean off your Winkastella so that you don't get a color on there that you don't want on another project. All right, now to assemble, I am going to put this little piece of Designer Series paper is going to go between these two layers. If I can find my adhesive. Where did I put my adhesive? So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive all the way down this one like I was getting ready to mount the other piece. And I'm glad I didn't get it too close to the edge. Well, and then I run out of adhesive in that refill. So that one's empty. You get to see me change a refill. The refills come in a little package. Most everybody can open a package. And then you just slide it right out. Stampin' Seal goes on the bottom, the words. Oh, let me get all these little extra glue off there. It's got the little hole where that fits on that notch. And then put the other piece back on the... And then we're going to turn this little guy over and put some adhesive on the back of it. And with the Stampin' Seal, you do not have to push really hard on your project for it to roll really easy. All right, there's that. And usually when you layer other projects, this is behind all of these layers, but not today. So now we're going to put this on our card front. And again, just light pressure so that it will roll off of there pretty easily. Make sure our card opens the correct direction. And we're not done. We're going to use a piece of this gingham ribbon, and we're going to tie a little bow. Becky's favorite thing to do. Guys, that will probably never ever happen again. That easy. And I want it kind of, let's see, straight like that. So let's cut a piece this off at an angle. Show off. All right, we're going to put our gingham ribbon out of the way, and we are going to grab a glue dot. Here we go. And we're going to put it right there. So there is our shiny little bling on our card, a little gingham bow, and that little glue dot will hold that in place. And there's some designer series paper. So there is our first card. I like that. All right. Let's lay this out of the way. And let's start with card number 2. That one, again, was inspired by Celine Compton. And this next one is pretty. And it is inspired by Linda Heller. This is the same card base size that we always use. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to get a really pretty die. Hold on one second. That's what I was trying to do when the clock struck 8. So just one moment. Here we go. It's the scallop contours, and we're going to use this one. And let me slide those back in there. Piece of white. That's not big enough. All right, let me get our die cutting machine. Miss Stampin' Cut and Emboss, the big one, because that's a bigger die. It will not fit through the mini. And again, if you get bored watching me create them all tonight, you can always come back, or you can find them over on YouTube, or just scroll to the end and see the finished product. So there, it's basic white and the scallop contours frame. And try not to jiggle the table too much. Oh, gotta move the boss. And it's still got some of those little cutouts in there. Let's poke them through and get them out of our way. And I try to do that on the die as soon as I finish using it too, so that I have it ready for the next time I want to use it. All right, it is cleaned out and ready. And now the designer series paper that I'm going to use for this one, I want to cut it to fit right inside this, so that only the scallops show on the edges. So it needs to be 4 3/4. One, two, three. Yes, I'm counting the little ticks. By 3 1/2. And it's a little bit too wide, so it needs to be 3 3/8. 3/16, I'm sorry. Whatever that little dot is. Let me... We remeasure it so that we got it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Eighths. It's 3/8 by 4 3/4. If you get the PDF, it will have all of these in it, so you won't have to remember. All right, let's put some adhesive on the back of this little guy. And again, just have a light hand, and I'm going to pull in my silicone mat so that I can see the edges a little better. And if you wanted to, you could use the multi-purpose liquid glue, and that would give you a little bit of wiggle room. But there's those two pieces layered together. And now I'm going to put those on our card front so that all my pieces are together to start with. And then we're going to put our sentiment and another flower on here. But we are going to use some vellum and see how that works. Oh, bring it back into the picture. Sorry, guys. And I'm mounting that on our Night of Navy card base. And let me grab a piece of vellum. I don't use a lot of vellum. And I really don't know why. I guess I don't think about it very often. So I'm going to cut that at our 3 3/8 length. And it's going to be by 1.5 inches. So that it fits right in there. So 1.5 inches by 3 3/8. I'm writing these down so that I will have them remembered. And we're going to use out of this one, So Lucky to Call You Friend. It's out of the set that will continue in the mini catalog. Grab me a block and our Stampin' Pierce mat. And our basic black, or I'm sorry, our tuxedo black memento. And I'm going to put it closer to this edge because I'm going to decorate the other corner. Ah, that's crooked. I'm fixing that. I don't like it crooked. So get another piece of vellum. That one's this one's narrow, a little bit narrower. We're going to use it. It's 1.25 inches. By 3 3/8. And maybe that'll help me not get it so crooked. All right, yes, much better. And don't rock it. Much, much better. And on this one, I'm going to go ahead and put it on there, but I'm going to use the glue dots that I just had in my hand. And grab my Take Your Pick tool. The only thing with vellum, and I think this is probably another reason why I don't use it very much, is because you can see the adhesive. So I know I'm going to put an embellishment down here in this corner. So I'm going to put a dot right there. And a glue dot up here. Those two will be covered for sure. And then I'm going to put it behind where I just stamped so that it won't be too obvious. If I put it at the end of, like where the D is, maybe that'll be okay. And that'll just hold that side down too. And let's put it right here. And that just gives it a nice little subtle. All right, so leave the glue dots out. I am going to pull in this paper, which is the same one there. Let me see if we've got a die that will cut that one. I believe we do. Cuts the little one. We're going to fussy cut. That my favorite friend Sharon likes to do. So I want that one. So I'm going to go in there and fussy cut it. And just because it's a little faster for the, you could stamp it and color it yourself if you wanted to. And with fussy cutting, you just kind of hold the scissors in your right hand or your dominant hand and gently squeeze them closed, but you're turning the paper and not the scissors, if that makes sense. Let me cut that off. So the paper is what's twisting, not the scissors. And now I'm going to get a dimensional. And it's going to go right here. And I want this die, if I can get it off its paper. And we're going to cut that out of I'm looking for it. Hang on. Like, I know I've got it. Hang on. I'm getting there. Not you guys. That's copper. I've got gold somewhere. Oh, right here. old foil sheets. We're going to cut a little piece, a little twig off of that. Actually, I'm going to use the silver. So lay you up here, grab our baby boss. Need the base plate, a cutting plate, piece of our silver foil, this little leaf. I promise to have myself together a little better on our next ones. I feel like I did pretty good tonight though, considering. All right, pop that out. Sometimes our elements stay in the die when we take it off there. So you can either pop it on your desk and that pulls some of the top, knocks them out, or it's got these cute little holes back here that helps you release it, just like that. And make sure your die is all cleaned out so that it will cut appropriately the next time you go to do it. Get those out of there. Slide them to the side. Pull our card back in. Our glue dots. And I'm going to stick it right there. Now it's stuck to my finger, and I'm going to slide it behind the flower. There we go. And there is that card. Oh, nope. Let's put one of our rhinestones in the center. And I went with our basic rhinestones because I use silver foil. All right, so there is card 1 and 2. Let me pull number 1 back in case you've missed it. Here's 1, and here's 2. So you could totally put whatever sentiment on there that you want. And I just feel like that vellum gave it a little, you can read it very clear, but it's kind of subtle. All right, there's 1 and 2. Now for number 3. This one could be a little more involved. We shall see. We shall see. We are starting with Evening Evergreen as our card base. Again, scored at 4 1/4 because it's 5.5 by 8.5. That's just half of it. And oh, I know where that ribbon is. Hold on. No, that's green. Nope. That does not match. Hold on. Let me find the ribbon. Now I guess I need to see if it's in the catalog. We're going to use it. And if you get the kit, I've got plenty to make it. It's called Chevron Weave, and it's an Evening Evergreen. It will match. All right. So on this one, what I did is I took a piece of the designer series paper. See, it's the same piece. And I cut it to go on our card front, I cut it at 5 1/4 by 4. And that, you can see, that's I'll get it spit out in a second. That is a regular layer on the front of your card and gives you a nice little border around it. So then what I did is I cut it in half. And I'm turning the bottom half over. Just like that. But what I'm going to do before I put it on our card is take our ribbon and I am going to wrap our ribbon around it. Actually, I think I'm going to wrap it. So that means I'm layering these two right back together, running some adhesive, if I can hold them together, down it, because that's where I want my ribbon. Make sure it's flat. Just enough to tuck it over. Trim this side. And tuck it as well. And now let's put our adhesive on the back of this and get it on our card base. And again, with the Stampin' Seal, the tip is easy pressure, light pressure, not really firm. All right, and let's put this on the card base. I do see a little adhesive right there, but it will most likely be covered. And if not, I have this cute little gum eraser. Just to be safe. There we go. And now for the fun part. We are going to use this die and cut a circle. It will run through the Stampin' Mini. I'm doing it closer to the top so I can save some paper. The thing with this die is it cuts your outside oval, and it also cuts the center out. So now I've got that I can use as a layer on another one. This one is going to go on our card, but I also want to cut a piece of vellum with that same die. We're just using all kinds of new stuff tonight because I don't usually use vellum. I'm going to use that piece. So that's the one I'm going to put with my card. That will be used as a frame for another one. So it can lay over there. And I need to cut a piece of basic white. So I've got something to stamp on. Slide that back through. I mean, it will roll through the other side, but I'm just used to turning the handle the other direction. Line it up on there. I almost cut it too narrow. Thank you guys for hanging with me tonight. I can't wait to show you this card. So yes, when you're doing it, there could be tons of die cutting, but now I've got the inside white and I've got a frame of white. So you're getting a bunch of pieces cut all at once. All right, that's it for that right now. So this one we are going to stamp Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. It's going to go right there. I need my paper piercing mat and a block. My black ink. If you want it super dark, go ahead and put it on your Stamparatus. That way you can re-ink it as many times as you want to. And these are linen pads, so I just make sure I get it good. Make sure you line it up where you want it with the stamp and not with the block on your paper. Perfect. And now I need to stamp this one again. We're going to color. That'll work. And I need to get the Balmy Blue. And because it goes through our paper, I'm going to just lay it on our silicone mat. I'm going to start with the dark Balmy Blue. And that's the bullet tip. I want the brush tip. I color a little faster with the brush tip. And you guys have been hanging out with me for a while. I try not to use your whole night. I appreciate it. If you like what I've done so far, you can give me some thumbs up or hearts, or I'll even take some little angry faces. It just helps with the Facebook algorithm, for some reason, makes it show up on people's feed a little better. All right, I'm just going to trace that, and then I'm going to get the lighter one. And I'm going to get Evening Evergreen, but the light. Actually, I'm going to use Soft Succulent Dark to color our leaves. Evening Evergreen would make it really dark. Oh, let me get the light one. There we go. I like that better. Whole slew of ink on my desk. All right, and now I'm going to get a soft seafoam scrap. And so saffron scrap. And it's time to die cut again. I'm cutting that piece of paper down so that it'll fit through the mini. All right, let's bring this mini in. And our die that will cut those flowers out for me. Need my cutting plates. And if you're not sure if that will stay where you've put it, then you can use washi tape. I'm okay if it's got a little bit of extra border around it. And it looks like I need to grab some So Saffron for my flowers insert. And now I'm going to use the same little, nope, a different one for our twigs. Do this one. I'm going to do 2 of it, of this color, and 1 of the other color, I think. Want it to stay on the Sounds like it's breaking, but I promise you it's not. Come out of there. And if you wanted to, you could run it through twice, but it'll pop out. There we go. And then the piece of So Saffron. Get those little pieces off the cutting plate. I'm going to do 2 while I've got it out here, and if I don't need them both, I'll have 1 extra. Right, get the plates out of the way. And I'm sorry, I just caught myself not talking again. Not that you have to ramble the whole time you're crafting, correct? I hope not anyway, because sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. All right, let's start. Oh, let's color our flower centers. There we go. Now let's start assembling. For this little guy, I am going to have to use some liquid glue to hold this ring on, or frame. So with the multi-purpose liquid glue, you do not want a lot. And see that, I'm not sure if you can see the little slits in there, but you also don't want your glue to gush out through those. So I'm just going to put it down like that. That will be plenty to hold it on the paper. And I'm going to kind of center it. And now I'm going to put this in the middle on dimensionals. It's like, what are those things called? Dimensionals. Well, and the backing came off before I got it off of the paper. Listen, little guy, you're going to get used. Gonna stick him right there. You could stamp that in the evening evergreen too if you wanted to. Then our vellum, I'm going to put it right over top of that. So I'm going to put a little dot down here because this is where I know I'm going to cover it. Right there. And then if you really wanted to get particular, you could use an adhesive sheet on the back of the vellum so that I'm going to put it off to the side so I can put an embellishment on top of it so that you wouldn't be able to tell. like the whole piece would have sticky on it. So there we go. That will be plenty to hold it on. Let's get some more dimensionals on the back of our little flowers. And they are going to go right here. And this little sprig, poke all of these little guys out. And a glue dot. Be careful not to tear him. And I probably should have put him down before I put that on there. So let's just do the best we can. Stick him in there. And then one of our yellow ones, or so saffron. That's what happens when you get in a hurry and you don't really pay attention to your design. That was inspired by Lisa Marie. Come out of there, little guys. I'm going to put this one just like that. Figuring out where it can go before I put the adhesive on the back of him. All right, and now let's use some of our gems. I think that's plenty of extra little fluff. All right, we wanted one up here to cover our glue dot. And then let's stick some more on here. And I always do it in threes. So odd numbers. There's 3 on there. Let's do a couple more. I'm putting it over top of adhesive. The little glue dots. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Needs one more. Let's stick it up here. All right, now let me scoot some of this stuff out of the way so I can pull in all 3 cards. My desk has lots of little scraps on it. That should be good for right now. Okay, there's that little guy. And his friends. Put the light one in the middle. There we go. What do you think? I don't know which one's my favorite, guys. I just can't tell. The fastest one, you like the one on the right. This one that my finger's on. They're all pretty. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with this suite. You don't have to have the frames if you don't want to. See, this is without the frames. This one, obviously without the frames, but I use the contours, colors and contour dies. This one, no dies at all. So there you go. There's the cards. Remember, $35 order will get you the projects, the cardstock and the designer series paper. You'll use what ink and stamp sets that you have to create your projects. And because I can't send stamped project or stamped pictures through the mail unless it's already on a card. And then a $50 order will get you an embellishment pack of one sort or another. And there's the card class. I will put all of this information on in an email, and I'll also get the PDF ready so that it can come to you too. All right. Thank you for hanging out with me. That definitely is a lot longer than what I usually do a Facebook Live, but I had fun creating. I hope that you had fun watching tonight, and I will talk to you again soon. I'll probably be watching with you next Monday night when I do the recorded Facebook class for us. All right, have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Go do something fun for yourself today or this week. Have a good one. Stay warm. Bye-bye.